Hi everyone, it's Miss Knudsen and me and Tessa are back. If you have been following me in my YouTube channel and all my other social networking avenues, you've noticed that I have made a couple different lessons for Christmas around the world. And I've taken you to Italy and we've done La Befana. And I've taken you to Mexico where we've studied the legend of the poinsettia. Today we're going to do this wonderful Polish craft. It's called a pajaki. And I know I'm probably saying that wrong, but that's the best phonetic pronunciation that I could find. And a pajaki is basically a good luck spider web. It looks like a chandelier made out of straws and paper. And the literal translation of it is spiders of straw. So to make this, we're going to be using all sorts of miscellaneous supplies. And what's wonderful about this tradition is that it doesn't have to be made out of anything really specific. So if you've got a craft closet in your house, or if you're a collector of trinkets and strings and beads and special papers, you can make this really cool folk art. I've made this craft with preschool students, and I have seen really elaborate, amazing, bohemian looking, probably could be in the window of anthropology looking pajankis. So you can take this as far as you want to. Let's talk about the supplies. So supplies for this craft are a ring of some sort, either a paper plate that's pretty sturdy that you can cut the middle out of. And then we're going to make tiny pajankis with a mason jar lid ring. You're going to need string, and different varieties of string might be fun. We're going to use our sort of go-to messed up yarn, but it's going to be a great base. And we've got some really pretty baker's twine. You're going to need drinking straws, and I have shiny, pretty ones I got at Target. And then we also got them at the grocery store, colorful plastic straws. You're going to need some sort of straw. The other supplies you're going to need to decorate your pajanki is just whatever you happen to have. If you have different colorful yarn to make tassels and pom-poms and all sorts of things, bows, you can use that. I've got all sorts of different washi tape, duct tape that's metallic. We've got bigger straws that are for smoothies. This is an amazing craft if you want to go overboard and decorate and decorate and decorate some more, because this is like a spider web. It's collecting things, it's catching things. And so it's really fun to keep busy fingers always busy. After you've gathered your mishmash of different supplies, then we can get started building the base for our pajanki. I took my gold-rimmed paper plate and I cut the middle out of it. Don't do that. Okay, if you're cutting the center out of your plate, then get a good pair of scissors. Be really careful. Don't stab yourself and don't stab the table you're working on. The best thing to do is to take scissors, open them up, and parents, this is a good job for you, and gently feel for the point of the scissors with your finger on the other side of the plate and just twist. Don't push, just twist. And the scissors will pop through eventually. Okay, when you feel it, hit the tip of your finger, stop. There it is, hello. And you've got a little hole in the middle. Now you can work the plate out from the middle and cut a line until you have about a margin that's this thick, okay? You're gonna need it to be this thick because it's just a paper plate. If you have something that's sturdier, like a sewing hoop or a wire hoop, then it can be really skinny, but our paper plate needs to have a little width to it. So cut a hole in the middle of your paper plate, and then you're going to need a hole punch to punch holes to tie the strings that will hold up your pajanki. Go punch. Punch. Hard. I have 8 holes. Once you have cut 8 holes, I'm going to string it up, okay? I'm gonna use my really economical, not so fancy yarn for my base, and then we can decorate it and do all sorts of fun things. I'm gonna string it right straight across. So make sure that your holes will meet at some point. See? And I'm gonna start with it long. You can always trim it, and of course, if you're gonna hang it, you need some extra. So see, I made it probably a good 1.5 feet long. And I doubled it up, went across the plate. And there it is. It goes through the center, goes up to the top. I'm not gonna tie them together yet. No, because we're gonna use this string and decorate it. Measure your strings, make sure you kind of get them all about the same. Ooh. I'm going down and then back up. So you'll have 4 strings going through 8 holes on your Pajaki. Look, it looks like a spider web, doesn't it? All right. You don't need to do more than 4. If your student is like, this is too hard, I'm not gonna string all of this stuff, because it's not the easiest, you do have to balance quite a bit, then you can stop with just the 4 connecting strings, all right? So now you can see we've got a base for kind of a chandelier, all right? So I'm going to tie a very loose knot, or even if you have like some tape and you just want to tape it, I'm just going to tie it really loosely here while we assemble the fun things we will decorate our Pajaki with. Okay, so once you have your base, set it off to the side. Now let's get ready to make our decorations. For the decorations for your large paper plate Pajaki, you will take drinking straws and you're going to cut them to make small tube-like beads. And they do not have to be the same length necessarily, because you're going to be just alternating and stringing all of these onto the yarn base you just made, okay? So be careful as you cut these suckers, as they tend to pop all around the room. See, I told you they fly across the room.
I know that.
You don't want to have to chase down your art supplies, okay? So cut carefully, or at least have some kiddos that are willing to retrieve them. Once you have started cutting some straws, you can get right to work. You can start stringing your strings of your Pajaki with all of your colorful straw pieces, okay? Let me show you some other fun things that you can add to the strings of your Pajaki to make it very festive. Let me show you how to make a tassel out of yarn. Take your favorite yarn and wrap it around 4 of your fingers about 7 times, and then pinch it closed and snip off the extra. Pull it tight and make a nice little loop on one side, and then cut an extra strand and tie that loop separately from the rest of the yarn. The other side, you're going to want to cut free from its loops, and then you will even out all the stray pieces. Double tie the little one connecting in the middle if you want it to be more secure, and trim the excess, and your tassel is ready. Let me show you how to make a really cute flag for your Pajaki. Take one of your snip straws and some washi tape of choice, and you will tear off a piece of your tape, and you're going to double stick it together around the straw. Trim off the excess bits of straw on either side and the excess sticky tape. And then you can cut a little notch in the middle of your tape to make it look like a beautiful flag. And there you have it. A very important part of your Pajaki is going to be the paper squares or circles you use to string on your yarn. Now you can use a punch if you have one, like a circle punch, or I even have an oval punch, but each one of them will need to get hole punched in the middle so it can string on your Pajaki yarn strands. The easiest way to decorate your Pajaki strands is to cut out squares from a nice sturdy beautiful paper. You can stack them all together and hole punch them all at the same time. You can make many of these and string them on all the strands of your Pajaki to make it truly look like a spider web. Tessa and I have been working so hard on our Pajankis. It's been so fun. Pajaki! It's very fun to say. As you continue to work and as you finish the top half, you've got some different choices as to what you can do with the bottom. One thing you can do for the bottom is just simply attach tassels or something that's sort of longish just to the bottom and be done with it. If you really like the strands and making this beautiful spider web, then you can continue making strands on the bottom half. This is definitely a good project to do with the cold weather months when you need to have something that you can fiddle around with inside, keep the kids busy, especially if you want to work in a group. That might be really fun. I'm going to work on the bottom and put some of my tassels that I made to hang at the bottom. So I'm going to make the bottom a little different than the top, and I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like when I'm done. Here's our finished Pajaki. I've got a lot of metallics in here, a lot of tassels, a lot of fun fringe, and this one, it has got a full 8 strands on it, but you don't need to make that many to get the desired effect. Tessa did 4 and it looked really great. Please check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you keep up with what's going on. And if you like these lessons, I have got them in forms that you can teach them yourself. If you want to buy lesson plans, you can buy lesson plans for things like this. Keep up with what we're doing here on my YouTube channel. I can't wait to make another wonderful project with you guys. See you later. As promised, here is the tutorial for the mini Pajaki. On your mason jar ring, tie 4 strands. String them with your favorite tassels, straws, and beads. Make them all even, and you can tie knots in between to hold beads and tassels. I hot glued a velvet ribbon and some pom-poms around the ring. You can see what it looks like underneath. After all your strands and your ring is decorated, you can tie it in a knot at the top, and you can hang it from any spot in your home or even from your Christmas tree.